2011 saw some firsts for Audi at Le Mans. It was the R18, the closed cockpit. It was the first time a female engineer won Le Mans. And Andre, what can you tell us about your memories of that win for you guys with Ben and Marcel?
A lot. It was one of the best days of my life, if not the best, definitely in motorsport. Because, yeah, I mean, winning Le Mans for the first time, or just at all winning it is amazing. But the whole dynamic was awesome with Ben and Marcel and the team. So to share these moments is something really, really nice together. But the race itself was really epic because, as you remember, we lost one car with Alan's crash at the beginning of the race, and then another car at the start of the night or middle of the night with a big accident from Rocky. So we were left alone against three Peugeots or four Peugeots. And that was, from that moment on, an epic battle because both brands were very competitive, and we, I think, exchanged the lead over 40 times, and we were flat out non-stop, and we were also doing 5 stints. So that was like Ben did it once, I did it once, so we were 3 hour 45 in the car, and flat out, like big time flat out, and taking a lot of risks because everything was on the knife edge, and the other Peugeots that were not in the fight, like the other car, were trying to slow us down, and they had opportunities to try other tires when it was starting to drizzle a bit. So it was very, very nerve-wracking. I didn't sleep a minute in that race because I was fully pumped up with adrenaline and following everything. And yeah, it's just awesome memories because the car felt great, and yeah, and also being in the car for the finish stint with 3 hour 45 in the car, and then crossing the line, it's so emotional because winning Le Mans is such an achievement, and then you think of all the people that helped you all along the way to make it. So it's a great gift for them that they have believed in you. It's a great gift for the team because so many people work so hard. I mean, we're there in front, but there's like 300-400 people who are also working on this project. So yeah, it's just, yeah, a fantastic achievement. But I think what makes Le Mans 2011 special is just how the race was. I mean, there are Le Mans wins that are not spectacular, and that one was definitely in the top most spectacular battles, and kept everyone on their toes till the end. The last pit stop, we came out 6 seconds apart after almost 24 hours, and actually it was funny because, well, not funny at the time, but the penultimate pit stop, I thought I was second, and Lina was giving me the gaps, and I don't remember, she was saying 10 seconds, and then 12, and then 13, and 14, and I thought I'm losing this race because the gap was increasing, thinking I was second, and I was pushing like crazy and didn't understand why I was losing ground. And then we come in the pits, and we do a full service, tires, and actually I had a slow puncture, so I had to finish the last couple laps on a slow puncture. Otherwise, we would have had to do an extra stop, and this would have cost us the race, and everyone was so nervous. So I come in and we do a full service, 4 tires and fuel, and I come out 6 seconds in front of Simon Pagenaud, and I thought, how come we're in front? So then I thought, okay, we have this, and then I extend the lead until for another 6-7 seconds, and we won with 13 seconds. So yeah, that I think it's a day that changed my life in terms of as a race car driver, and then you have like Le Mans winner on your forehead.
Well, yeah, it certainly set you up for many years to come at Le Mans as well. You mentioned the team. You've got to talk about Lina. You've mentioned Lina there, and the achievement that you helped her get, she helped you get, you know, all of you together.
Yeah, it was a perfect recipe. I think we all played our roles and understood each other very well, our strengths, our weaknesses, and we put really our egos aside, and we didn't feel like we need to prove ourselves because we started a bit as underdogs, so we didn't have any, you know, achievements or something. So that really was a good thing for us because yeah, that's how we managed to really extract the best out of everyone and support each other. And yeah, that's the energy was just so good. You know, it's like when there's so much flow and so much energy, it's like almost when you're like in the honeymoon or in love phase with someone, you know, and that's what we were having, the four of us, in terms of in a professional way, in being in the flow with everything. So the motivation, yeah, and the energy was just so good, such a good dynamic. And what was great was that we slowly built our confidence. We worked together a little bit, and then 2011 was the first year. So we each somehow built our confidence, and that gave us opportunity to work in a relaxed way as well. So we were always joking around, but immediately from one second to other, boom, back into a serious engineering conversation. And
You're
then
not joking?
we were joking.
Never.
Yeah, we were just non-stop joking and non-stop being back into a serious conversation. So we were really actually having fun. Like you couldn't call it work. It was hard work, hard dedication, everything, but it was just naturally fun. And that, I think that's how things should be. And then you're in the flow.
I've mentioned briefly the R18. It was a closed cockpit. What were you thinking about that car at the time? How was it to be in that new setup, and how it was for the race?
Yeah, I loved it from the first lap. I remember there was the Audi Sport finale event at the end of the year. I think it's always the beginning of December. And from there, with Tom, we flew to the first test. It was in Florida in Homestead. And I did the first laps. And because I didn't like so much the R15, it was kind of not so nimble. It was good at Le Mans, but it was a bit of a truck, I would say. and then I did the first laps on the R18 and immediately fell in love with it right from the beginning. It had no understeer. It would just like be on rails, and you could really push it. It kind of came back to a bit like what's a nice single seater would feel like, and was so nicely balanced, and that boosted my confidence a lot because I needed to be able to play with the car. The R15 I couldn't really play. You had to apply yourself technically to put yourself in the best scenario for the car to handle. For the R18, you just could hammer it and just drift it, and it was really cool car. I think everyone fell in love with this car, especially with the closed cockpit. Really became an iconic car, and I think they look much nicer with the closed cockpit. It's really these really sexy Le Mans prototypes, like we're used to see them from since since always, or especially since the 70s, and also on the Group C. So yeah, it's they're just the most beautiful race cars in general. So I was very proud to be part of this team and racing such a cool car, and being also part of the development. Yes, we had issues with visibility. For some it was more problem. For me, I didn't. I mean, I was careful, but it was okay. But for example, right hand corners like Mulsanne or Arnage, you wouldn't see the curve. Like the A pillar was so thick, and the blind spot was quite big too. So yeah, I mean, you know the track, everything, but for situation, for traffic, you kind of really need to have like a good peripheral or vision, you know, or know your surroundings, because yeah, once you're blind, it becomes tricky. But that got improved with technology. So the A pillar started to become a bit more three-dimensional, so it gave you a bit more visibility with the cars after. But I remember that was the number one priority problem, performance, because as it was actually categorized as a performance problem, because we would lose that at some point. That was for some drivers the biggest loss because of mistakes or visibility issues. And we tried putting cameras around in the mirrors or everywhere and put screens inside the car to cover this blind spot, but it didn't work out because we were not able to look far away and then look into the screen to cover this blind spot. So we gave that up. But that's how Audi took this seriously.